Hello, mate. I've got 15 things for you that I thought I would miss when I was quitting drinking, getting off the bottle, that I don't miss at all, in fact, in reality. But I don't know what that accent was. But hi, welcome back to the Sober Scope. This is your host, India Gantz. And yes, today I have compiled a list of 15 things that I really thought were going to just shatter me. Like 15 things that I thought I could not live without. 15 things I really enjoyed when I was a drinker that I was like, how am I going to live without these things as a sober person? So I'm going to tell you what those 15 things were and how I've made a shift in my mind and in my personality, my aura, to where I actually prefer my alternatives in sobriety to those drinking activities that I thought I would miss. Like, you think that you're going to miss those things, but sitting here as somebody who's been sober for well over a year at this point, like, I don't miss any of the things that I thought I would miss, which is crazy. So I want to give you some reassurance and just let you know that, like, anything you think you're going to miss about your drinking life, you just won't, because you find alternatives. And I'm going to share with you the alternatives that I found, and I hope it helps you on your journey. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the Sober Scoop. This is a judgment-free zone where we talk about how to get sober and stay sober. You're not alone. I hope you feel seen. Quitting alcohol is the best decision I've ever made. All right, let's crack on. Let's get right into it. I'm not going to do that accent the whole episode, don't worry. Number 1, nights out. Obviously, that is a concern when you are somebody who drank a lot. Like, yes, I enjoyed my isolated drinking a lot and drinking at home and just grabbing beers from the Total Wine and More and sitting at home and drinking. But I also really enjoyed going out, and I felt like that was my personality. That fulfilled me in so many ways. And that was like who I was as a human being. Everything that I enjoyed doing had to do with booze. If you were to ask me my hobbies, it's like, oh, I enjoy playing Golden Tee, which is the video game that's available at a lot of bars in the area. I like playing pool. I like playing darts. I like drinking beer and ordering wings and watching whatever sports game is on TV. I like hanging out and going for happy hour and whatever. All of my interests revolved around going out. And not to mention, like, wild nights out. I liked to do those a lot as a drinker. I think partially I liked them because it was just an excuse to drink a lot of alcohol. But I liked going out with my friends and, like, dancing, socializing, meeting people. Like, I was a single model in Los Angeles for a good chunk of time, and it's like, woohoo, get out there, get out on the town. I thought I would miss all of that stuff. And I just want to start by saying that I still go out as a sober person. You don't have to. Our personalities change. We grow as human beings. You don't have to, but I do still go out. And if I'm in the mood to go dancing or go to, like, a club or something, which isn't very often, I'll be honest, because I have a life and other interests. But if I want to do those things, I do them, and I do them sober. And I have random little tricks that I've learned along the way that help with this. In fact, I should make a new episode about partying sober, because I've learned quite a few hacks. Like, my most favorite one that I've discovered recently is wearing sunglasses. When you go out, it makes the place feel like a club, like dark. You're not self-conscious about how you're moving. It's like a comfort blanket. Don't knock it till you try it. Be that girl or that guy wearing sunglasses at the bar. Like, it really just gives this vibe, gives you some confidence in that security blanket, like I said. So anyways, the alternative that I've found, like I said, I do still go out. And so I satisfy that need if I ever want, which isn't that often, because I now literally prefer, like, a peaceful, productive morning. That gets me more excited than going and partying till 2 a.m. In fact, the thought of going out, like, past midnight stresses me out so much, because I've done it. And even when you're not drinking, your next morning is not the same. You're not you don't feel 100%. In fact, I went out till like 2 a.m. once, sort of recently, and I almost felt like I was hungover the next day because I didn't get my normal sleep. I wake up with the sun anyways, so I'm like running on 5 hours of sleep, and I danced all night, got like, 40 frickin' thousand steps or something crazy. So anyway, I don't like messing with my nice, peaceful routine. Like, I literally value my mornings so much. So I don't miss the nights out because I literally prefer to go on a walk in the morning or do a workout or get my coffee or anything. Like, I just love my morning routine, and I also love cozy nights in. There is nothing about the partier version of me that I miss. Any parts that I thought I would miss, the dancing, the going out, I still do those when I randomly get a craving to do so. But I prefer all of my sober activities in my sober life so much. So I don't miss that. I don't miss nights out at all in sobriety. Number 2, the social ease of drinking. Okay, yeah. Like, alcohol makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel more outgoing. It makes you basically become friends with anybody, which I used to love. I actually thought that my drinking friends were my actual friends, but they weren't. Like, those people that I would run into at the bars multiple days a week are just the other degenerate bar goers. They're not my friends. They don't know what I do for work. They don't know my deep story. They just know that, yeah, we have some surface level conversation at the bars. Cool. Okay. And you have these friends, like, we've all had them along the way. We have this category of friends that we only go out with. Like, that's all we do with them is just go out and party and basically use each other to get out on the town and meet other people and be silly and get drunk. Like, when you're 95 years old, are you going to be looking back on your life and cherishing those surface level friends? Or are you going to cherish the connections that fuel you, that those people that just get you on another level? Like, you guys really just connect and you have these crazy conversations for hours and you stay up laughing all night long and you travel together. Like, what I'm saying is I do not miss that ease of just meeting randos when I'm out and about. I prefer to make really deep connections with people. I value those so much more, and I'm like selective with who I become friends with. And also, this is a bold statement, but I think I have less social anxiety as a sober person than I did when I was a drinker, because I literally relied on alcohol to socialize. And so if I didn't have the alcohol, or if I was preparing to go somewhere, I mean, I'd be stressing about it until I had alcohol in my system. I mean, and also when I would be drinking, it would put me into this shell. In fact, I had an ex-boyfriend tell me this one time, that I am like not even there when I'm drinking. I'm not participating in conversation. I'm not talking to strangers. I'm not interacting with the bartender or whatever. Like, I'm very much in my shell. And I don't know why I got that way, but I was just like to myself. Even with those random surface level bar friends, like I said, they didn't even know what I did for work. Like, I'm not making conversation with these people. And in sobriety, I have just a little bit more confidence to like say a little something cheeky to the bartender, like have fun with ordering my coffee, or, I don't know if that makes any sense, but like being more confident and sure of myself has made me less socially anxious. Like, if somebody says something funny and cheeky, I can actually think of a funny, cheeky response, instead of when I was a drinker, I'd be like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if that's making any sense. It makes sense in my head. My social anxiety is not as bad in sobriety. It was an adjustment for sure. In the beginning, it was hard, but later, like now, I can confidently say that my social anxiety has improved. And so, do I miss the ease in social situations when drinking and just like be friends with whoever? You know how drinking just connects people? You could be talking about nothing, but you're both drunk, and so it's like, woohoo, you just become friends in the bathroom or something. Like I thought that I would miss that, just ease of connection. But instead, I do not miss that, and I just value my deeper connections so much more with my friends and my family. Number 3, liquid confidence. Yeah, so alcohol, I think, gives you confidence to do things you just genuinely don't want to do. Like, for example, I've learned in sobriety that I just don't like karaoke. I didn't like it when I was a drinker either, but I could do some shots or something and get up there and do a karaoke song. Now I'm like, I just really don't enjoy karaoke. Never have. I don't like karaoke. And so it's like alcohol would give me confidence in things I don't even want to be confident in, if that makes sense. Like I would rather just be my full true self. And I am outgoing in certain ways, but I don't like karaoke. So I don't need to like force liquid courage down my throat so that I can get up and do something I don't even want to be doing in the first place, if that makes any sense. And speaking of confidence, drinking gives you that fake masking of confidence. Like you are just masking the fact that you're terrified to do something and you're like, I'll just take a shot and do it. It's like, it's fake, you know? I mean, that's what it is. Liquid courage. You're basically faking that you are courageous. You're faking that you are confident. And in sobriety, I am so self-assured and confident in myself because I feel healthy. I'm proud of the way I behave. I'm proud of the way I look. I'm proud of all that I've accomplished. I'm proud that I can hold a meaningful conversation. I'm just proud and self-assured, and those things reflect in genuine confidence, not liquid confidence that is fake. So I do not miss the quote-unquote confidence that alcohol would give me. I prefer the genuine confidence that I have in sobriety. Number 4, meeting somebody for a drink. This could be a date. This could be with friends, but I loved meeting somebody for a drink. Oh, let's go for a drink. You want to get to know somebody? You want to go out with a potential client? Like, it was always meet for a drink. If I'm going on a date, it's let's meet for a drink. That was just like a ritual, and I loved it, to be honest. And now I meet for a coffee or a walk. This is my favorite thing to do, by the way. I'm trying to make some new friends right now, in my late 20s, trying to make new girlfriends. It's always a struggle, but I've found some people in my industry who I thought, wow, these girls are really cool. I would love to get to know them more. And so I invited them to go for coffee and go for a walk. Like, walk around Green Lake. That's a Seattle reference. There's a little miniature, like, man-made lake. But anyways, you go for a walk around Green Lake or a walk on Alki Beach. I'm planning to meet up with these people and grab a coffee and go for a walk. And I just love that. Like, that is my favorite thing to do, meeting somebody for a coffee and a walk. And so, do I miss being able to meet somebody for a cocktail? Not really. You're just like sitting there and getting a light buzz, and I don't know. I just don't miss that ritual like I thought I would. I don't miss it at all. There's nothing about meeting at a bar that I can't satisfy with, like, meeting at a cafe or going for a walk, even better. I love killing two birds with one stone. So, like, getting some fitness in while I'm getting to know this other person just is a win-win for me. Sometimes they say, like, for people with ADHD, you should really try to hone in and focus on one thing at a time. But I love multitasking. I love getting two things done at the same time. So I get my walk in for the day and I meet this person to get to know them better, and boom, boom, two things I wanted to do done in one. And it's like productive and healthy, and I get high on fitness and health and productivity instead of sitting on my booty and having a drink with somebody. Number 5, winding down. I've talked about this a lot, how I used to I almost said a couple glasses of wine, LOL, like 4 or 5, 6 glasses of wine, or a 12 pack of beers or whatever to wind down in the nighttime. And I don't miss that either because 2 things. One, there are adaptogen drinks, which I've talked about these a lot, but they're really nice, relaxing, kind of stress relieving drinks. Some people don't even notice the effects of them. Okay, so that's how light it is. It might be all in my head, who knows? But there are some relaxing properties and natural botanicals in the drinks that just help you feel more relaxed and at ease. And so if you want to have that ritualistic drink, you can pour one of those into a wine glass and sip on it and just chill over ice. Like, so nice. So if you want that, if I ever want that, I can still have that. I don't crave it every single night. But when I feel like having that ritualistic, relaxing drink, I can have it. But on the other side of things, I wanted to say that winding down and like being forced to wind down with alcohol is so interesting because it's like you're forcing your body to feel relaxed instead of just being relaxed. And the way that you are genuinely relaxed without any substances is you've crossed the things off your to-do list that you need to do, or you've like written them down for tomorrow so that you don't forget. You've gotten all your thoughts out of your head onto paper so that you can actually just be chill. And you put on some light music while you're cooking, or you take a long shower, or you do some self-care like a mask or a self-tanner, or you watch a movie, like actual relaxation instead of just forcing your body to get tired because you're consuming alcohol. If that makes sense, like you can find ways to genuinely chill and relax, which is so much healthier and better for you to experience full, real relaxation instead of like forced, fake relaxation. It's kind of a common theme I'm hearing is that alcohol makes you feel fake confident, fake friendships, fake relaxed, but you can get all of that stuff in the real form in sobriety. Wow, so deep. Number 6, escaping stress. Yeah, this is kind of similar to the last one, but I used to use alcohol to literally just avoid all my problems, all my responsibilities. If I had a really busy day or a really stressful day, instead of actually addressing the things that need to be done or what happened throughout the day, what I need to do the next day, instead of actually getting to the root of the problem, I would just drink it away. So it's like, well, I don't have to deal with it right now, at least. Like I can shut up my brain for a second and enjoy this drink and just basically put it off until another time. And now, in sobriety, you have to actually face those things. And I know that sounds scary, and everyone likes to have a drink to just make the world disappear and make all your problems, poof, go away. But it's only going to build up and hurt you in the end. It's better to address the things and really handle what's going on, because that is going to help you feel actually better. You're not drinking it away and delaying it. You are facing it head on. And I'm a big fan of to-do lists. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that this is one of my biggest tips, is getting things out of your head and onto paper. Write down all your thoughts. Like, you don't have to have finished everything by the end of the day, but you just jot down anything that's still on your mind, anything that's still stressing you out, anything that you didn't get to. And then you know that tomorrow when you wake up and you sit down to start working, you have that list ready to go and you can handle those things. Drinking it away and just making it disappear and like, please God, let me forget all these things I had to do. I just can't even think about this. I don't even want to have the thoughts cross my brain. Like, that's not a great way to live in the long run if your goal is to be successful and happy and move forward, move the needle, as they say. So, do I miss escaping my stress? No, I do not. Sometimes I wish that I could just shut up my brain for a while, but that's another shift I've made in my head. And I've said that actually my hyperactive brain and jumbled thoughts are my superpower, and they are why I'm able to function in the world the way that I am. I am special. We're all, that sounded really weird, but I don't mean that I am special. I mean, like, we are each unique and special in our own ways. And so do I want to drink away my sparkle and my thoughts? No, I do not. I like my thoughts. I like being productive. I like moving forward and working towards the life that I truly desire. That was a big part of why I quit drinking, is because I was not where I wanted to be in life, and alcohol was truly prohibiting me from getting there. And so in sobriety, I owe it to myself to freaking get there. And I will, and I am. Number 7, drunk nights out. Wait, why did I write this down? We already talked about this in number 1, didn't we? Drunk nights out. This is the one I wanted to talk a little bit more about, not blacking out, but getting really drunk. I thought that I would miss that because you are literally like an alien. You are a different species when you are that wasted. And we're throwing up and blacking out and saying things we don't mean. We literally are possessed when we're that drunk. There's somebody else within us. It's crazy. And anyway, I thought that I would miss getting really wasted. And then I think back now in sobriety and I'm like, I don't miss being in that state at all. And I was somebody who would throw up before I blacked out. My body rejected the alcohol and it was like, get this out of my system. And I threw up a lot. I would almost go as far as to say I threw up at least once a week when I was a drinker, which is kind of crazy and sad. Sometimes I would be throwing up alone at home, which is really sad. And sometimes I would be throwing up from a crazy night out and stumbling home and barely making it to the toilet to throw up. So do I miss getting wasted, essentially? No. I don't miss the throwing up. I don't miss the hangovers. I don't miss the regrets. And the beauty of it all is I can still go out, but yet I wake up feeling all right, not having to go on an apology tour, texting everybody that I may have wronged that night. It's just so much better in sobriety. Everything's better. Everything's better in sobriety. I promise. Number 8, hangover brunches and rot days. Okay, yeah. The Sunday scaries. Okay, but not the scaries part. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you go out on Saturday or whatever, and I used to have these days. I called them my mental health days, but they were usually these Sundays where I would just essentially wake up with a hangover and drink all day long with no regrets because I needed it, because I was so hungover. It was like my medicine. And I would watch TV and I would basically do nothing. It would be my day to do absolutely nothing and feel no guilt whatsoever about choosing to do that with my day. So some people call these rot days. I don't know why I said hangover brunches, but I feel like that was more just my excuse to continue drinking, because it's like brunch, woohoo, mimosas, Bloody Marys. It's socially acceptable to order morning drinks. So I like doing that on my Sundays. But what I'm saying is that essentially writing off a day is something that I thought I would miss. And there are moments where I'm like, I wish I could just do nothing all day today, but I'm almost not capable of that because of my sober brain. And I'm always wanting to enjoy life. We only get one life. I don't want to waste away a day sitting on the couch and drinking drink after drink after drink. I want to live. And so here's the shift. I don't want to have rot days. Or even if I do somewhere deep inside wish that I could write off a day, sure, maybe that desire crosses my mind every now and again. But would I rather experience the odd rot day, or do I enjoy experiencing my morning walks, my coffee shop trips, my good sleep, my cleaning up around the house while listening to a podcast, browsing Target or Home Depot, building something, painting something. I enjoy those things more. And so those are kind of my version of rot days now. It's like I will deep clean my apartment and listen to hours and hours of a podcast. And I love doing that. But yeah, it's productive and also relaxing. And I prefer this life that I have now. I prefer Sundays like that over my rot Sundays any day. So do I miss those? No. Period. Number 9, airport drinks. One of my biggest triggers in the beginning of sobriety was the airport, because I would always drink at the airport no matter what time it was. It was my routine. And I loved drinking at the airport because there's no rules at the airport. You can drink at any hour of the day and nobody's going to judge you. So I thought that I was going to miss airport drinks, but I made a shift, and now I have a new airport ritual where I get my candies, 1 sour candy, 1 sweet candy, and I get my salty snack, usually those brown rye chips, like the brown things in the Chex Mix, but there's a whole bag of just those. And I get a Diet Coke or a Diet Dr. Pepper, preferably, and a water, and I just kind of stock up. Like, I love going to town at the Hudson News at the airport. It's something I really enjoy doing, and I love my new ritual. And then I'll set up my phone on my suitcase, and I'll watch Netflix that I have downloaded. Even if I still have service in the airport, I'll like put my Netflix on that I have downloaded and binge a few episodes of whatever TV show I've decided I'm going to watch during my travel. Like, I just love my new airport ritual so much more than my sitting at the bar getting wasted by myself airport ritual. So I don't miss that at all. Number 10, sitting at bars to get work done. Did I say this already? I don't think I said this already, but sorry if I did. Yeah, I've always been I made a TikTok video about this. That's why it sounds familiar. I have always been very entrepreneurial. I've been a contractor, like working for myself, hustling, side projects. Like I'm always, if you plop me somewhere on this earth, like I can find something to work on. You know what I'm saying? I can always be working on something. And so I used to love to go to bars and sit there by myself and work on my projects, work on my actual job, work on my own stuff. I loved to bring my laptop to a bar and work while I drank. I just felt like it was so chic. And I've always worked in a creative industry, so I almost felt like alcohol gave me more creative juices. So I just loved going to the bars and working. But now I go to cafes, and it's just as satisfying, if not more, because you put on your cute little cafe outfit and you put on some music, and I usually walk to the cafe, and you order your strawberry puree matcha or your white chocolate mocha, or just like whatever cozy drink is kind of in season and whatever you're in the mood for. And I feel motivated. I feel like I'm in a movie. Romanticize your coffee trips. And I really just love doing this. I'm not going to lie, one thing that I struggle with is when I do want to be working late into the evening. I no longer desire sitting at a bar and working for a number of reasons. Like, I just don't think that environment is great for me to just be sitting at by myself. It brings back old memories. I feel like it kind of puts me out there into the world as somebody who enjoys those scenes, and I just don't anymore. Anyway, so when I want to be productive in the evenings, I'm struggling a little bit with where to go be productive. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. I've managed to find a few late night coffee shops that stay open till like 7 or 8. But I'm talking like, what if I want to be productive till 10 p.m.? Where can you go? I don't know. Maybe it's better I just stay at home at that hour and get my work done. Or stop working for once in my life. Okay. Number 11. feeling included at parties. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit earlier in the episode, but alcohol brings people together. It's true. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. If you're holding a drink and they're holding a drink and you're cheersing and, oh, what's that? Can I have a sip? Or this, that, the other. Like, I don't know. It just unifies people in our society. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. Side note, at parties, always have a drink in your hand, even if you're not drinking alcohol, because you want to be able to be a part of those cheers moments or like fun little party rituals, So anyways, do I miss feeling included at parties through alcohol? No, I don't. Because I truly feel so sure of myself. I feel like I am being authentic. I'm proud of who I am. And all of those feelings outweigh feeling surface level connected to somebody because we're both drinking alcohol. Doesn't do it for me. I don't miss that. I don't want to be included in those surface level groups. I'd rather deeply connect with people. I'm just more selective, I guess you could say. And I'm authentic, proud of who I am, and I want people who are drawn to that side of me, not to the drinking side of me. I hope that will be the same whenever I meet my person, and start dating. I hope that who I meet will be really drawn to this authentic version of myself, this healthy version, this version that I'm so proud of. And they're not going to be turned off by the fact that I don't drink. They're going to be attracted to the fact that I am who I am and I'm so happy and sure of myself and complete. And they want to be an addition to my beautiful life. That's what I hope. Okay, number 12. The chaos of nights out. Yeah, call that a dopamine hit or whatever you want, but nights out got exciting sometimes. You're seeking the next bar, you're meeting crazy people. You go on these crazy side quests, wacko things just happen when you're out drinking. You're impulsive and crazy and woohoo. But do I miss that? No, because I value so much the peace, the schedule, the planning. I mean, I am still spontaneous in some ways, or some might call it impulsive, almost to a fault. But that chaos that comes with going out at night and being wild and crazy and doing things you're ultimately not proud of in the end, that's just not something I miss. I am way more in love with my peace and tranquility and confidence in my actions, if that makes sense. How many times have I said, if that makes sense? I'm sorry. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Hopefully you resonate. All right. Number 13, fun, impulsive decisions. Oh, I kind of blended those together, but yeah. Doing crazy, wild things on a whim. Let me just say that looking back on my drinking days, all those crazy impulsive decisions that I have made along the way make up some of my biggest regrets in life. So even if there were a few fun, crazy, impulsive decisions that turned out all right, and woohoo, that was so fun, most of my impulsive decisions became just huge regrets of mine. I'm not going to get into the really deep ones, the really big regrets that I have, but one kind of more just surface level one is I went out to this party of a girl that I'm not even that close friends with. It was friend of a friend of a friend type of thing. And we were at this club. They gave us a table, but it was just us girls and nobody wanted to buy bottle service. And I was like, come on, we're a big group. Let's just do it. And everyone's like, no, I'm fine. Just having my one glass of wine. I'm good. I don't even like to drink vodka or whatever they're going to bring us. And I'm like, guys, it's her birthday. Come on. And I'm pressuring everybody and trying to get everybody in on it. And I end up dropping $1,100 on the bottle service plus, or including the insane tip. And then I'm like going around the next day trying to see if anybody would consider sending me some money to contribute to it, because I got it for the whole group and everyone ended up having like one shot because I got it for everybody. But they didn't want that initially. I forced the group to get it. And so essentially everyone was like, no, like, I'm not going to send you money for that. You did that. And at that age, it put me into a hole. Like that was a really, really tough decision, losing $1,100 when I lived paycheck to paycheck. And that was like a full month's rent. So that was like just a more surface level regret that I had. And also just like dealing with the embarrassment of that. I still haven't seen some of those people since that incident. And it like icks me out that they think of me as that person. I mean, there's so many things about that I just don't love, and that I regret. And that's just a basic, simple story. I've done things that, really hurt other people, really hurt myself emotionally, nothing physical. But yeah, so do I miss the fun, impulsive decisions that would come from drinking alcohol? Absolutely not. In fact, it's one of the things I miss the least. I like that I take a minute to think about my decisions and I'm going about life fully coherent and aware of my choices. And that just goes along nicely with being self-assured and knowing who I am. I make clear, concise decisions that I am happy with instead of making these crazy impulsive decisions, like almost just to fit in or impress people or whatever. Like, I don't miss that one bit. Number 14, being the life of the party. Yeah, I think about this especially with men. I was a young, pretty girl. I modeled for many years. And I think that mixed with the fact that I could down like a lot of beer and keep up with all the guys, and the fact that I was holding a beer in my hand instead of like a Cosmo or a glass of rosé. I think guys found that really attractive. That I'm like a chill, cool girl who drinks beer, but I'm also slim and young and model-esque. Not slim for long. You can't drink that many beers for that many years and think you're going to stay that slim. Side note. But anyway, I definitely attracted men. They were drawn to me. If I'm, not to toot my own horn too hard, but that's kind of what it was. I would almost like captivate a room, and I have a unique career. I have a unique outlook on life. My schedule was unique. People would think it's cool that I'm going golfing on a Tuesday morning instead of going to work. Like, I don't know. There were a lot of things that people were just drawn to, and I would like just be so confident but it's that fake confidence. It's like oversharing so that people think I'm cool. It's trying to be one of the guys. I don't know. I was a pick-me. That's exactly what I was. I was a pick-me girl, big time. And yeah, so being the life of the party and that girl who just ropes people in. I mean, I don't miss being that person. In fact, I kind of dislike being the center of attention. I have my own journey and my own path in this life, and I'm really enjoying it. And I like to be on that path with myself and with the people that are closest to me. I don't need to like share that openly with all these randos that I meet and like be wild and crazy and fun and buying the bottle service and dancing on the tables. Like I don't need to be the life of the party. But not to get too deep, you can still be the light in the room without being the life of the party. You can be that light. You can be that positive spirit that connects with people. I actually feel like the way I share my light with this world is when I do get into deep one-on-one conversations with people at events. Like, I'm not captivating the whole room, but I'm captivating that one person one at a time, really getting to know them, hearing about their life, asking them questions, making good eye contact. I just feel like I make a meaningful impact on people. And I try to bring a light into the room. Not necessarily being the life of the party pick-me girl who's way too out there, but just like individually connecting with people and being a light in situations. Number 15, last one, folks. I wrote wine nights and alcohol occasions. Okay, what I meant by this was I thought that I would really miss these, drinking occasions, if you will. Wine and The Bachelor, like wine and cheese, doing, beer and peanuts and watching a baseball game. Like these kind of rituals, I guess you could call them, around drinking. Having a hot toddy when you're sick. Yes, I used to always drink when I was sick. I thought I would miss these occasions that you drink for, these pairings, these life situations go well with booze pairings. And that took a while for me. That's why I dove into non-alcoholic wines and non-alcoholic beers. It really helped me transition into a sober life while still getting those like food and drink pairings and kind of getting to participate in those occasions that call for certain alcohols. So that's how I transitioned out of that. But now, as someone who is almost 16 months sober, I don't miss those food and drink pairings. I don't miss drinking alcohol in certain situations or for certain occasions. I've actually found things that I prefer instead. Like, you literally learn to prefer other things instead. It takes a long time, but looking back, do I still miss those wine nights and The Bachelor? It's like, no, I don't. I can get just as much satisfaction pouring kombucha into a wine glass and having that charcuterie board as I did when I was pouring wine. And there are always sober options, non-alcoholic options. Like I said, you can get NA wine and bring it to your girls' night watching The Bachelor or whatever you do that calls for like wine. There are alternatives. And I have different pairings that I enjoy. Like recently I've really been enjoying watching a movie while drinking a Diet Pepsi, candy, and popcorn, or chocolate and popcorn, like that kind of movie night vibe. I've really enjoyed that. So I'm like diving in to other pairings, other fun occasions that call for like particular snacks or particular drinks. This was a harder transition for sure, but there are tools and drinks and things available to help ease that transition for you. And looking back, something that I thought I would miss, the wine nights, the alcohol occasions, the food pairings, I thought I would miss that. I don't. Now I can confidently say that I don't miss those. I have other things. I've discovered other things. So I think the overarching message here with all of these things that I thought I would miss is that it's not like you miss those things and you have this emptiness inside you, like, where are those things I used to enjoy? But it's more like you have replaced them with healthier hobbies, different interests that don't involve booze, like different rituals that are non-alcoholic. So you're not eliminating those things from your life. You're just shifting and finding different things to replace those things that you used to enjoy and love. So I think we have to think of it, or maybe just think of sobriety in general, as more of a shift and less of an elimination of alcohol. It's just making changes and shifting and looking at things a little differently. It's not eliminating. So I will leave you with that. Feel free to share this episode if you think somebody in your life might enjoy it. If you're not a part of our Facebook group yet, we have an online Facebook support group called the Scoop Troop. It's totally free to join. I will leave the link in the description, and that's just a very helpful, supportive place for anyone who is sober curious or quitting alcohol or has been sober for 10 years. It's a great place for anybody under that umbrella. So we would love to have you. And thank you for listening to this episode. I will see you for the next one. Bye.